What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 16 in my 8th annual 31 Days of Horror. This is a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween, of course. So continuing along here, I decided to revisit a film. So last year I reviewed Blair Witch and Blair Witch 2 on this series, and then this year I've already saw Blair Witch Project 3 times for different reasons. So I was like, man, you know what? I really want to revisit that other Blair Witch film that came out like 2 or 3 years ago. And that was Blair Witch from the year, I want to say 2016 this came out, I want to say. But yeah, Blair Witch. This was a film. I got the Canadian edition here because all the quotes are in French. Some of the quotes are in French. The bloody disgusting quote is in French. Or no, the Screen Daily quote is in French. Ugh. Anyway, this movie was originally made under the title The Woods, and it was directed by Adam Wingard and produced by Lionsgate, and they were going to release it as The Woods and then kind of just let the reveal happen naturally, but I think they sort of got a little bit of cold feet and figured, well, this film will do way better if we attach the Blair Witch name to it, although it would have been really cool if the first people who went and seen it found out it was a Blair Witch sequel without ever knowing it. That would have been really neat. I think that would have surprised a lot of people. So anyway, this film follows, which there's no description on the back of here, which is funny. Damn Canadian releases. It basically follows the brother of Heather Donahue, who gets mailed a tape that he believes might have his sister in it. Now, Heather Donahue was obviously the lead in the original Blair Witch Project, so in this found footage movie, that actually happened. His sister and 2 friends went into the woods and were never seen from again. So he decides he's going to go out to the Black Hills Woods with his group of friends and film everything and try to find his sister. That's the main goal here. So they decide to go out. They enlist the help of 2 locals who also have been into the woods and say that they 100% have seen stuff in there. And they essentially get lost, you know, like in the original Blair Witch Project. And then they get, you know, attacked. So, a couple of things. One, when I saw this film, I did really like it. I thought it was really decent. It was like scary. I think I was in like the perfect mood, at the perfect atmosphere in the theater. It just worked really well for me. There was a really famous debate on our podcast where my co-host gave it like a 3 out of 10 and I was like in the 7-ish range. After revisiting it, I do see a lot of the problems that he had magnified, and I do think that this movie is not as good as I once thought it was. So for starters, there really are a lot of jump scares in this film, and a lot of like fake out ones, and it's a lot of just loud noise, you know what I mean? Like, there are some legit scares in here, but it's a lot of loud noise. Like, and that's one thing that the original Blair Witch didn't use at all, was noise, you know, like music effects. So yeah, that really annoyed me this time. You know, when I was watching it originally, I don't think it annoyed me as much because I didn't know it was coming, but I still remembered a lot of these moments, and it did become very annoying. I was actually surprised at how annoyed I was at the jump scares, because normally I do like them, but there was just too many using, you know, the soundtrack, which is just doesn't feel right. I also think the characters are extremely bland, which I didn't really notice last time. the best characters are the two locals, Lane and his girlfriend or whatever. And even they weren't really expounded upon too much. I wish that the mythology of this film would have been a little bit more. It feels like they didn't really care to make it a continuation and just wanted to put it there to satisfy like the fans of the original. There was so much more they could have done with the mythology, and like Josh and Mike are never even mentioned in the film really. I don't think they're mentioned at all. There was opportunities to do stuff like that. The I like the time skips and stuff like that that's going on in the film, because that seems like something that might have existed in the original Blair Witch but never really like fully, shown. But they would go back around in circles and stuff like that. So I do like that. I like expanding upon that with the Lane character, where he said, but I feel like they only drop it in dialogue. It's not discussed long enough. It's not like whenever they first see this Lane character, he's like, oh, we've been wandering for like 3 days, and they're like, what? Like they don't even like ask him like, wait, you're saying you've been out here 3 days? Like I wanted him to like talk more about that, because it was cool. Then the drone thing was kind of cool. I thought the end was done probably better than most of the film. When they get to the house, it really is scary, and like there's a great claustrophobic tunnel scene that just works so well. I would say the final second of the movie, like the final shot, is a little bit underwhelming. But yeah, man, I'll tell you what, like, I wish that this movie could have been so much better. I think that you needed stronger characters, a little bit more plot and backstory, and like there was opportunity to have this kid talk about what it was like when his sister Heather disappeared, and what it was like for the family, and how it tore him apart, and like, how he always knew something is up with her disappearance. They don't really do that, man. I mean, they kind of dropped the ball on this one. They mention Rustin Parr, they mention Coffin Rock, but it seems almost like throwaway, like, haha, the original film people will remember this stuff. But I mean, there was ways to like kind of expand upon that as well. Overall, I don't think it's bad. It's definitely not a 3 to me. But it definitely fell from grace a little bit. I'm sort of at like a 6 out of 10. I would give it an extra half, but there's just I think the ending is just like the best part of the movie. But a lot of the rest is just kind of a little weak. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. So Blair Witch, 2016, 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching. See you guys tomorrow.